This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr. Hey, LowcoSports fans. Welcome to another edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. I'm Justin Jarrett, joined as always by Wes Kerr, and we're talking some local sports here in the South Carolina Low Country. We're a little behind, Wes, because we had the holidays and had to take a little bit of time off from the podcast, but it's great to be back in our virtual studio here and talking with you. And we got a lot of things to talk about, plenty of football, a little bit of wrestling and basketball, as well as some golf. And we're going to talk with James Dennison from the Beaufort High football and basketball teams a little bit later on in the show. But Wes, first things first, how are you doing, buddy? How are your holidays and how are you holding up over there?
I'm doing great. Had a fantastic Christmas, a fantastic New Year's as well. Had some quality time with family, and my goodness, it was just so beautiful out that entire week here on the island. If you stayed here during the Christmas holidays, you certainly enjoyed it because it was just absolutely flawless, 70-degree weather. You know, obviously, I'm a fan of cold weather for the holidays, but, you know, it's hard to complain when you get those kind of conditions every day for 7, 8, 9 days straight over the Christmas holidays, something that you rarely see and you rarely get here during this time of year. So that was awesome. Got to head over to the beach a lot, just hang out outside. Absolutely amazing conditions. And was treated to this amazing gifts for Christmas, and I got to spend some time with family. And then hung out for New Year's as well. So a terrific week here on the island for the holiday season. And, you know, just great to have some time to recharge and get ready for what should be a fantastic winter sports season, which has already started in a big way. It's been a fantastic first couple of weeks. And, yeah, I got to see Hilton Head Prep's boys in action, Hilton Head Prep boys basketball. What a great performance that they had at home. They routed Bethesda Academy. J.J. Hayes scoring his 1,000th career point. That was awesome to see. He's worked so hard over the years to get to that milestone. Sean Cusano pulling down 22 rebounds with a phenomenal performance from him and this entire team. Some great play from guys like Ben Fry and Andrew Helms, all along with Kane Eaton. So I'm really liking the makeup so far of this Hilton Head Prep boys team. And you know, they really worked hard over the holiday break. They took some time off, but they also put in some practice. They didn't play any games during that stretch, but they had a bunch of practices, and they really elevated their game to that next tier. And we've seen that in action on Tuesday night over there at Hilton Head Prep. So looking forward to seeing the Dolphins and how far they can take it. Obviously playing that 3A flex, but they'll be in the 3A playoffs most likely, and excited to see how they perform there, and should be a big season for the Dolphins and that Jerry Faulkner team. And, you know, a different Blazer team, but this is a team that they've had some trouble with in the past. They've lost a couple region titles too, but a nice 26-point victory there with Bethesda. So that's a big win there for Hilton Head Prep. And I really think this Dolphin team should be the class of the region. But, you know, it should be a great 2022. Had a fantastic holiday season. Really excited to get back at it. Some great basketball teams, some players that I'm really excited to cover, and just going to be an awesome new year here at LowcoSports. Got some great new innovations. We've got this video podcast, which I'm really excited to roll out. We got our all Loco football teams, our all Loco fall sports on the way. So a couple great things to be excited about heading into the new year, and just awesome to be back here on the pod.
Yeah, no question. I agree with you completely on the weather over the holidays. We were on the island for a week with my wife's family, and it was just phenomenal. They were visiting from Missouri, so they were ecstatic about the weather. It was tremendous. And then of course, they all went home, and it was snowing. So we're lucky here that it was only in the 50s, not snowing. So we'll take that all day, every day. From now until spring for sure. But it was a great week. And we did have a lot of sports news that was kind of breaking over the holidays, including we talked on the last show about Bryce Singleton having a year left of eligibility at FIU, but he is not going to take advantage of it because he has declared for the NFL draft. And as we've seen with former BJ Payne players, when they declare for the NFL draft, they get to work and they get their work done, and they give themselves their best chance to succeed. And, you know, I'm really excited to see what unfolds for Bryce. You know, I don't know that that he will get drafted or get an opportunity, even, because who knows. But he's certainly got the skills, and if he can get to training this off season and put in the work and put up the numbers, I mean, that's what it's about, really. It's about metrics. And if you can produce the metrics and the film, then somebody's going to give you a look and see what you can do on the field. So I love the opportunity for Bryce. I don't think it's a bad decision at all to forgo that last year. He's done what he needed to do in college, what he went there to do, and now he's going to take a shot at the NFL. So very exciting for you, I'm sure, to see a former classmate, taking another former classmate taking a run at the NFL. But what do you think about Bryce's chances at the next level?
I'm so excited for Bryce to get this opportunity, and I agree with the decision. There's not a ton that you could get out of that next season at FIU. I think he was ready to take that step and get ready to take his chance in the NFL. And three-sport athlete, three-sport star back at Hilton Head High, just a phenomenal set of skills with that quickness, that hard work, intensity in every sport that he played, the athleticism that we saw show up on every night, no matter the sport. And Singleton, just an electric playmaker, especially for that football team, broke so many records over there at Hilton High. And I thought there was a chance that he would be heading back to FIU to get back there for one more season, and team up with DJ Aiken, who's heading there, but from Bluffton. But he's going to be foregoing that last year of eligibility and declaring for the NFL draft. And just what a moment for Bryce and the development that he has made over these last few years, becoming an elite wide receiver, I think, on that Panther team, not just on the FIU squad, but I think in the entire conference. And he had his best year yet. 44 catches, 829 yards, and 3 touchdowns, including 3 100-yard games this season. Just an excellent route runner, terrific quickness off the line of scrimmage, outstanding hands. And, we've seen these receivers, those kinds of receivers, shine in today's NFL. And you look at what T.Y. Hilton did coming out of FIU, certainly a similar skill set, a speed type of receiver who can burst off the line and be able to make any catch. And, I'm not sure that Singleton will be given that great of a look. And I think Singleton's very skilled, but I'm not sold on the fact that he will get drafted. I think there's an outside shot, but, we've seen some phenomenal flashes in his play. And you mentioned, if you have that film and if you have those solid measurables, you will have a chance to get a look. And I think that will be true for him. And I'm sure that even if he doesn't get selected in April, I think he'll earn a shot by possibly getting signed or getting an opportunity to work his way on a roster, kind of like what we saw with Poona Ford. And I think if he gets the opportunity, those BJ Payne coach players always take it and they always run with it. And I think we could see something very similar to what happened with Poona Ford. I think he's got a great work ethic. He's got the skills. He's got the talent to try to make that dream a reality. So I'm really excited to see what happens here with Bryce Singleton. I think there's going to be some way there's going to be a team that takes a chance on him. I think he's going to put in everything he can to make that possible and get a shot to possibly make it in the NFL, which would just be an amazing accomplishment to see another former Seahawks star in the National Football League. So just amazing stuff here for Bryce Singleton. And certainly earned this opportunity. He's worked incredibly hard at FIU and at Hilton High when he was out there. And once again, speaks to the testament of what BJ Payne has done growing these players' careers at the high school level, giving them opportunities to continue it in college. And we see how much that has paid off now. Another former Seahawk declaring for the NFL draft. Congratulations to Bryce, and wishing the best of luck going forward into April and beyond.
Yeah, if there's anything we've seen from BJ Payne, it's tremendous talent recognition and development. I mean, he can see the kids who have the ceiling and see where it is, like Sam Suma moving to tight end, and even before that, Poona moving to the 3 technique. That was not something he had ever played before. So, I think BJ is really good at recognizing a kid's skill set and developing it and recognizing where the ceiling is and how he can get them there. So I think he does a fantastic job with that. I think that Bryce probably has paid attention to guys like D. Delaney and Ron Parker, and the fact that this is not a one-shot deal. You may not get drafted. You may not even get a free agent contract right away. You may be on a practice squad for 2 or 3 years. But if you keep grinding and you evaluate where you fit in and where you're lacking, and you try to address those issues, then there will be opportunities for you. And you kind of create your own luck as far as that goes with hard work. So, I think Bryce is going to put in the work that needs to be put in and give himself the best shot. And that's all you can really ask for. Whether you get an opportunity or not is kind of out of your hands. But he'll do what he has to do. And maybe he'll be joined in the NFL in a few years by Jalen Sneed, because that guy is definitely on the right track. And I think there were probably some questions locally about whether he could really excel at that high of a level. But we saw him in the Under Armour All-America game, and he tied for the team lead in tackles, recovered a fumble, and got to throw on the turnover chain, and had a heck of a game. So, I think that will put to rest a lot of the questions about whether Jalen is really a Power 5, top 10 caliber player. And he looked like it against a bunch of them on Sunday.
Yeah, he proved a lot against a group of elite football players across the country over there in Orlando on Sunday. And just so awesome for him is his last little activity, a big activity before heading up to South Bend to join the Notre Dame Fighting Irish here as he begins to enroll in classes and start his Notre Dame career this winter and spring. What an honor for him to take part in this prestigious Under Armour All-America game event, which he has certainly earned a spot in, and he delivered, testing his skills against the best prospects in the country, making 5 tackles, tying for a game high, and as you mentioned, had a fumble recovery. So, talk about stepping up your game under the lights of a nationally televised contest on ESPN. I think a lot of people are starting to know the name Jaylen Sneed, and I think a lot more will know his name once we get into the fall next college football season when he suits up for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And just what an incredible linebacker when you look at the explosiveness and the physicality and just that high motor and that toughness really combined with the high caliber work ethic, which we've seen across so many BJ Payne coached players. And I think he is going to be a star over there at Notre Dame. What an honor it has been to cover Jalen Sneed over these past few years. And it's just been an honor as well for I'm sure for BJ Payne to coach him and coach Bryce Singleton and coach Puna Ford and coach all of these guys who he has molded and developed into outstanding players at the next level and beyond. And once again, just BJ Payne really finding out where all these players fit. Jalen Sneed, kind of a hybrid guy, he kind of did it all, but his home was at linebacker, and now he has developed into one of the best at that position in the entire country. It just shows, a major testament to both of those work ethics when you look at what BJ Payne and what Jalen Sneed had done over these last few years, always in the weight room, always being alert and ready to put in that extra work on and off the field to get to that level now. And so I'm just really, really proud of what Jalen has done over his career at Hilton Island High. And, and for BJ Payne, what he has done, just continuing to send off talent to the highest echelons of the college football landscape. And he also got to serve as an assistant for team legends over there at the Under Armour All-America game, helping out as a defensive line coach. So what an opportunity for BJ. Awesome to get that chance to do that, and he certainly earned it. And I think those two are continuing to put more notoriety on the Locos map and on the Hilton Head Seahawk program as well. So it's going to be so much fun to watch Jalen Sneed play for Marcus Freeman in the Notre Dame Fighting Irish here next fall.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. I'm even more excited after seeing that All-America game. He played so well. He looked good out there. So I'm pumped to see what he can do at the next level. And another Seahawk is on the move again. Tyler Hamilton, former teammate of Bryce Singleton's, who started out at Purdue, then transferred to Eastern Illinois. He's back in the transfer portal looking for another opportunity for himself. And, I haven't really been able to follow Tyler that closely. He hasn't gotten on the field a ton the last couple of places. But again, a guy who was thought of as equal or better than Bryce Singleton, probably coming out of high school, could be a nice pickup for somebody who's looking for an addition out of the transfer portal. He might be a nice player wherever he lands. But do you have any indication of where he might be going?
I think it'll be interesting to see where he ends up, but I think there are many programs that would love to put the opportunity and take that skill set of what Tyler Hamilton has shown. And I remember watching him back at Hilton Head High, and he was there when I was at school and in my last couple of years, and such an explosive wide receiver. He could do a little bit of everything for those BJ Payne coach teams. Which was terrific on special teams as well. He finished his career as the Hilton High's all-time touchdown leader, and he doubled as a versatile running back and a wide receiver. Just a phenomenal asset that he was to that Hilton High offense. And he picked up some big-time offers, ended up going to Purdue, where they put him on defense, actually. He was listed as a defensive back, but he wanted to find a bigger role somewhere else, so went to Eastern Illinois after that and had a solid year this past fall. He didn't get that much time, but he did make some impacts when he was on the field. Made just 5 starts all season long, but he didn't pull down 5 catches against University of South Carolina in a nice game there against the Gamecocks. So, we've seen the talent. We've seen that ability to produce at the college level. He's shown it, especially most recently at Eastern Illinois. And I'm sure there are some schools looking for that veteran presence who really can add that depth to your program. You can never have enough depth. You can never have enough leaders on your college football program. And I think it can be a real spark plug on both offense and special teams, especially in the return game and as a versatile back or wide receiver. And I think Tyler Hamilton can certainly be that guy, and I think he should find himself a great landing spot to finish out his college career. Just great to see him earning these opportunities to continue to play the sport he loves all the way through his college career, getting some extra years of eligibility too, of course, with the whole COVID situation. But awesome to see him continue to go at it. One of the most underrated players that has come through Hilton High School in these last few years. But we wish Tyler all the best as he enters the transfer portal and looks to find his new home to wrap up his college career.
Yeah, it's a different world in college sports these days. The transfer portal, the more lax rules on transferring, I think it's a positive, but it definitely has changed the landscape, and it's made it tough on the high school kids who are trying to get recruited for sure, because they just kind of get left in limbo until all the transfer stuff sorts itself out. But certainly it's a great thing for the established players to be able to have that opportunity to try to find a better fit for them. If you take a job out of high school and you feel like you're not going anywhere after 2 years, you're not going to stay there for 2 more years. You're going to go look for a better opportunity. And it's great that these young people have an opportunity to do that as well. So wish Tyler the best in the transfer portal, as well as Christian Miller, another former Seahawk who's got quite a few offers rolling in from smaller schools and HBCUs. So looking forward to see where he ends up as well. And let's shift gears, Wes, and talk a little bit of wrestling, because we had a huge tournament right here in our backyard over the holidays with the May River Invitational. They brought in 31 teams from all over the Southeast and beyond, really. They had some Pennsylvania teams and Maryland and West Virginia. Great field, and we had a couple of local guys win titles. May River finished 5th overall, which was very impressive. Isaiah Wysong and Santiago Rueda won their weight classes, continuing outstanding seasons for both of those guys, and quite a few other Loco guys finishing in the top 6. So great to see these Loco wrestlers showing out against terrific competition, because as we keep saying, the sport is really growing here. The depth of talent is improving year after year. And, we got to see it up close and personal this week, and May River's looking very strong once again.
Oh, they certainly are. And just what a week it was right here in the Loco, at May River High School, and some of the top wrestling programs from across the Southeast making a trip right here to Bluffton, South Carolina. And man, they put on a heck of a show. And the team that we thought were the front runners dominated the meets. The dynasty that is Camden County, they ran away with that team title, and 3 champions and 4 runners up. What a showing there by the Wildcats, who continue to show why they're one of the best, not just in Georgia, but in the entire Southeast in our sport. And But how about our very own Maryville Sharks? What a performance. I'm very, very impressed by what this team did against a number of very strong wrestling programs. They took fifth place out of a loaded field of 31 teams. Um, they were just 8 points away from third place, which was held by Ashley Ridge. So really impressive job by the Sharks, including two individual champions. Isaiah Wysong, he dominated Moose Springer to win the 132-pound title. And then Santiago Rueda, he vanquished one of these Camden County Wildcats. He took down Porter Wyatt in what was an incredible match over there on the wrestling mat. And he won by decision 9-7. What a hard-fought, close match that was. Just terrific wrestling, and Wysong with 3 pins on the week, Roy with 2, and that's a remarkable accomplishment for both. And what a month for Santiago Rueda. He won both the Coastal Clash and now the Mayor of Invitational. So he is in line for a heck of a season for the Sharks, like this entire team. And you know, I think the Mayor Sharks, I think they are primed for a big time year on the mat. Going to be a great rivalry with Hilton Head, and it should be just a phenomenal wrestling season here in the Loco, and some more Maryville Sharks impressing over there on the mat. Gabe Juarez nearly joined him in the winner's circle, took a second place finish, lost to another Camden County Wildcat and Kamari Johnson. A very, very close match, 5-2. And Colton Ferries, how about Colton Ferries? We talked about many times on the podcast over on the football field. What a event for him as he takes second place. He falls 5-3 to Jackson Wakeland at 182 pounds, and some great performances across the board from our Loco stars, from other stars across the area. Drew Vi from Milton High. He continues a strong start to the 2021-22 season, a bronze medal at 132. He ended up losing to Wysong, Isaiah Wysong at May River. So what a rivalry once again is shaping up to be between the Seahawks and the Sharks when it comes to wrestling, and just two quality programs with two outstanding coaches and then more outstanding coaches on that staff who I think are in prime position to contend for a state title. And then Battery Creek Dolphins, what a great start for Sam DeGroat. He placed fourth. Really impressive performance from him at 120 pounds. So just an amazing couple of days of wrestling here in the Low Country. Just so awesome to bring that high-end talent over here, and really it helps improve everybody here in the Low Country going up against that elite competition as we get ready for South Carolina High School League wrestling action, and as they start to contend for state titles. So what a great opportunity for not just May River, but for Hilton Head, for Beaufort, for Battery Creek, for all these Loco teams and all these other teams that are coming over from across the Southeast to really improve your craft against some of the best in the entire country and the entire Southeast. So what an opportunity this was, and a ton of Seahawks and Sharks and Eagles, Dolphins, so many in here in our Loco area took advantage of that. And so, just goes to show how much the sport of wrestling has improved here in the area by the outstanding performances here of our own Loco athletes. And I think it should continue to do so in the coming years, thanks to all the great work that our sponsor, Reverence Wrestling, has done to continue to grow the sport here, growing that pipeline, and really putting that next generation, giving them experience and putting them in a good spot to help grow their craft over the years, and step into the mat when their time comes at the high school level and perform. So I'm really liking the future of wrestling. I think it's very bright over here, not just in the Loco, but in South Carolina as a whole, and definitely want to come out to more wrestling matches this season, especially Hilton Head May River. But man, I'm excited. I think we could see some real state title contenders once again. May River got to the state championship this past year, and I think we should see some big things once again from our Loco teams here on the wrestling mat. Should be a great season right here in the Loco.
Yeah, I agree completely. Love what they're doing at Reverence. I got to go over and check out that facility recently, and it's really impressive. They've got a lot of space in there. They're getting more and more kids of all ages, boys and girls, in there working out and getting accustomed to being on the mat. So, I think it's really going to pay dividends in 4, 6, 8 years for these local programs to see that youth program starting to really build up and produce kids who are coming into the middle school and high school ranks already knowing how to wrestle. I mean, they already know what they're doing out there. It's going to make a tremendous difference for the coaches at that level, and how more advanced. They're going to be able to get with their practices without holding back the guys who are a little more skilled, So, and the girls, I think girls wrestling is coming to South Carolina very soon. There's a lot of chatter out there. There's a lot of people joining that movement, and as we see more and more girls competing, so I think we'll see that soon as well. In the next 5 years, girls wrestling will probably be sanctioned, and that will be a great thing too, because we've got a great girl over at Hilton Head High, Zao Estrada, and we haven't even seen her wrestle yet this year, but looking forward to seeing her get back out there. Like you said, Hilton Head May River is going to be a great duel. May get it twice again this year, like we did last year with the lower state championship. That Wysong Vi matchup is fantastic. It was 4-3 this weekend, and they've had some great duels. So look forward to seeing them go to head and just seeing how this continues to grow. And the Battery Creek program is definitely in good hands. They're hosting the Coach Trapp Memorial Duels this weekend on Saturday. That's going to be a great event as well. Lots of Loco teams in there. So if you're a wrestling fan, get out to Battery Creek on Saturday and check that out. If you happen to hear this before Thursday night, we're recording Thursday morning, you can go over to Hilton Head High and check out their match against Battery Creek. That's going to be a great duel. So wrestling is looking good here in the Loco, and we look forward to covering it through the postseason and crowning some state champs. But let's talk a little bit about golf, Wes, because the South Carolina Junior Golf Association put out their updated junior rankings for the state, and we've got a couple of guys in the top 10, including the guy at number 1, Jerry Bruns from Beaufort High, actually ahead of Alabama-bound Jonathan Grizz on this list. I suspect that's because Grizz is playing more amateur events, not as many junior events, but still a pretty nice feather in your cap for Jerry Bruns, who's had just a terrific run here the past couple of years.
Yeah, kind of surprised to see Bruns there at the top, but certainly deserving on the South Carolina junior ranking. Jonathan Grizz over there at number 7. So what a duo there with Grizz and Jerry Bruns, and just so exciting to see two guys here in the rankings who really put in the work in 2021 and had some fantastic golf seasons. What a spring it was for Bruns. Really dominant throughout that high school boys season, and then he took runner-up honors in the state of South Carolina in 4A, and leading Beaufort to that 4th place team finish, and now heading into his junior year. And then Jonathan Grizz, we've talked so much about him and what he has done on the golf course, and just phenomenal last year after winning that big-time South Carolina amateur back in 2020. That was a huge springboard win for him, followed up with that tremendous 2021 season, and what a run he had, the U.S. Junior Amateur, making it all the way to the quarterfinals. So then he earned a pair of top 10s after that at the Junior Players and the Ping Championships. So a big year for Jonathan Grizz. Got to see him at last year's Heritage, got to talk to him a little bit. What a great guy. What an amazing hard worker he has been. And I'm just so excited to see what he does here in 2022, and getting ready to head to Alabama this fall to join the Crimson Tide golf program. And we'll have 2 Loco stars there at Alabama with Nick Pringle and now Jonathan Grizz. So I'm very excited for both. And Jonathan, he has worked so hard over the years to secure this opportunity. And, he's developed into one of the top golfing prospects right there, number 1 in the state of South Carolina in the junior ranks. So, man, with Bryce and Nim are in this group, and what we're seeing with Grizz, Jerry Bruns, and guys like Andrew Swanson now at Clemson, we've got a strong local golf contingent, both at the junior level and at the college level. So, and on the pro ranks too. So, some great local golf talent. I'm so excited to cover them all year long, and we're getting ready for the Junior Heritage in just a few weeks, which should be a ton of fun over in Sea Pines.
Yeah, no question. That's going to be great. And, always some of the best juniors in South Carolina competing. And we always have good local showings there, too. So we look forward to that. And hopefully a local will bring home the crown from the Junior Heritage this year. But we'll have lots of golf coverage coming for you in the coming weeks. And we are still working, and we're getting very close to launching LowcoGolf.com. So you golf fans, we're going to have a lot more coming for you very soon. Course reviews, features from the local golf industry, and trend pieces and all that stuff. So that's coming very soon. Keep an eye out for LowcoGolf.com here in the next couple of weeks, and we'll have a lot more golf news coming for you. But let's take a quick break, Wes, and then we'll be right back to talk with James Dennison from Beaufort High School here on the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Hey, LowcoSports fans. Does your business or organization need a new website or need help drawing more visitors to an existing site? Dds Web Design can make it happen. From simple HTML pages to get businesses online to complex site designs with maximum functionality, DDS has services suited to every budget, and they love working with small businesses and entrepreneurs. They also build year-round maintenance into every package, so your website is always up to date. Check them out at ddswebdesign.com or call 843-931-8668 and tell them Loco sent you. Hey Loco Sports fans, you know we're all about keeping it local, and that goes for pizza night too. When you've got a craving for the best pie in town, or the best kept secret, their amazing mac and cheese, keep it local with Local Pie. They have 2 locations, on the Promenade in Bluffton and on New Orleans Road on Hilton Head Island, where they serve up incredible wood-fired pizza featuring regional sourced ingredients, and their mac and cheese is the best kept secret in town. And they're committed to giving back to the community and protecting the environment. So when it's time for takeout, keep it local with Local Pie, the official pizza sponsor of Loco Sports. Hey Loco Sports fans, are you looking to promote your business or organization? You can do it right here with the sponsorship of the Loco Sports Lowdown podcast, the Loco Hoops Report, or the Loco Pigskin podcast. Rates start at a very affordable $50 a week to advertise your event, organization, or business, and reach a loyal local audience that supports grassroots local sports journalism. Send us an email at locosports@gmail.com today to get started. Go Loco. Hey Loco Sports fans, welcome back, and we are joined now by James Dennison, one of the stars of the Beaufort High football team and now the Beaufort High basketball team. And James, it's had to have been a lot of fun over there at Beaufort High this past year, 2021, really, because you think back to the spring and the baseball team and the run they had, and I'm sure you were in there with the Kirkland Crazies mixing it up and cheering them on, and then the run you guys had in football season, and now rolling right into a very promising basketball season. How exciting is it to be an Eagle out there on Ladies Island?
Yeah, there's a lot of school spirit right now at our school, and it's really fun to go to all the sporting games when everybody's playing well. We've all got kind of a good team atmosphere, and hopefully our basketball team's carries it on.
Just reflect on the outstanding football season. You guys absolutely phenomenal. Really started off with those big wins over those strong Georgia teams, including Benedictine, who won the state championship. Tell me about the mentality going into this football season and how you guys were able to really elevate your squad to that next level and go off on that incredible playoff run and knock off Myrtle Beach and get all the way to the state championship game.
Yeah, when we started the season, we knew we had like 3 really tough teams first 3 games, and we didn't really know how that was going to go, but we ended up beating all 3 of them. We were like, wow, we're pretty good. We have a chance to win the state championship, and our coaches have been telling us that, and I don't think we really believed it till later in the season, but we all bought in and all believed in it. And then the win against Myrtle Beach was huge. That was probably the biggest win of my football career. And then next week we beat West Florence and got to the state championship.
Yeah, it was a heck of a run, and obviously quite a few seniors graduating, but quite a few guys coming back too, who will be playing key roles next year. So very exciting stuff for the football team. And I guess the only problem with it for you was you guys went so deep that it was basketball season the next day, like it had already started. So how difficult has it been for you guys to kind of get your basketball legs under you and get into shape for that season?
Yeah, that's always really hard. You always think you're in shape during football season, but then you go out to basketball and you're tired after one up and down the court. So, but I think we've adjusted now. It took us a little while. The Somerville game, we were all dead out there. Couldn't really play as hard as we wanted to. But I think we've adjusted now, and we've had a good week of practice this last week. Kind of the first week, really, where we've been able to practice together as a team for a full week. So I think we've adjusted now. And then playing over the summer really helped the transition into basketball. Me and Michael both played AU up in Charleston, and some other guys played a lot of basketball over the summer. So I think that helps us adjust.
Well, it's been a heck of a start for the firm of Dennison Odom so far there on the basketball court. Tell me about the connection between you 3 and how you guys have been able to use that size and that dominating presence on the court to make some big-time impacts on both ends of the court and propel you guys to a great region start.
Yeah, I think we just work really well together. Michael kind of clogs everything up, and the biggest man is going to have to guard Michael, and then Zion takes away their best defender, usually people keying on him, so it frees everybody up to go make plays. And we know if somebody else is shooting it, we can go crash the boards for offensive rebounds and easy buckets, and it really helps us work well together with all that size. Nobody really can match up with us size-wise, so we know we're always going to have that advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really the trick is, 3 guys over 6'5". There's just not a lot of people who can match up well with that, especially with, Zion can go out on the wing and really almost run the offense through him. And then, you can get to the basket and score off the dribble. So you guys are definitely a matchup problem. But I want to know, do you guys approve of the nickname that I've given you, the Firm of Dennison, and Odom? Does that work for you?
I think so. We were a little skeptical at first, but after he used it a lot, I think we've bought into it.
Good deal.
Well, you guys got a big one on Friday night. Hilton High, the defending lower state champions, coming in to Buford. What a big game. Tell me about how you guys are feeling and what will be the key to knock off the Seahawks on Friday night. How are y'all feeling heading into this one?
Yeah, we feel good. We've had a good week and a half of practice now since we've been back after the break. And, Hilton Head's good. They're really fast. They've got a lot of guards that can really run, and then they shoot pretty well from the outside. So we're going to have to get back and play good transition defense, I think, is the most important part of the game. And if we defend well, I like our chances.
Well, you're obviously one of those seniors who will be graduating, but talk a little bit about the younger guys that you've been able to play with these last few years who are going to try to carry on the legacy over there at Buford High, both on the football field and on the basketball court. Who are some of the names we're going to get to know here in the next couple of years?
Yeah, well, McLeod Rochelle from football, the receiver, and then he's kind of like a two guard in basketball, and he can play a little bit point guard too. And then starting point guard is Anderson Jones. So he's a junior right now, and he's really fast. He plays soccer too. He's a great person to have on the team. His dad coaches our JV team, so he's great. And then football, our receivers are good in football. Casey Fields will be back. Michael will be back at tight end. And we've got a lot of young guys coming up from JV in football. Samari, the quarterback, he's going to be really good. And then Hudson Mullen plays the same position Michael plays, like the tight end kind of role. He'll be good when he gets older and stronger. Trying to think on football or in basketball. Braxton, we have a kid named Braxton. He's a junior right now, doesn't play a whole lot, but he's gotten extremely better since his freshman year when we first played with him, and I think he'll have a big role for us next year in basketball.
I've seen some highlights from Samari Bonds, and he's looking pretty special out there at quarterback. What can we expect from him going into next year, looking to follow up Tyler Haley and all the good things that he did? What are we expecting from Samari Bonds potentially in 2022?
Yeah, I think he could have a really special year. I think, he's got to put on some weight, and he'll have to practice a lot in this off season, working with making reads and stuff, because he still doesn't have like a full grasp of the offense, obviously, because he's only a freshman right now. But, I think next year he's got a chance to be special, and the coming years after that. He's really fast and can make any throw. So it's just practice.
And it couldn't have hurt for him to get just a little taste of it at the end of that state championship game, just to see it and kind of see the speed and start to understand where he's got to get to for next year. I thought that was a good thing for him. But tell us a little bit about your role on these teams. I mean, as a senior, as a leader, what do you kind of take on as your role? How have you tried to help the younger guys or the more inexperienced guys come along and get up to speed?
Well, for football, it was kind of interesting this year. I'd played quarterback like all my other years of football, so I knew coming into high school that Tyler was going to be the starter, so I was probably going to have to find a new position. And I stuck with quarterback the first 3 years, but last offseason, I was kind of just like, I want to get on the field any way that I can. So I switched to receiver originally, and then midway through summer practice, or kind of towards the end of summer practice, the coaches were like, you want to try linebacker. We're undersized, and we need you on the field wherever we can put you. So I went over to linebacker and ended up working out. And we have a really good defensive coordinator, Rob Garl, and me and him really had a good connection. And I felt like towards the end of the season, I was really able to have a full grasp of the defense and what we were trying to do. And when you have a full grasp, that helps you lead the defense more. And so I became one of the leaders on defense, and that was my role for football more. But then basketball,
that's a heck of a transition to linebacker.
yeah,
You were pretty dang good for the first time playing it.
yeah. I had played in Pals football in like 5th grade, but that was the last time I played linebacker. And when they asked me, I was like, sure, I used to play, so we'll see how it goes. But
What were the challenges of really adjusting and embracing that new role and that new position on this Beaufort High team after going from quarterback to the other side of the ball on defense at linebacker?
yeah, it's hard. The hardest thing is probably the mentality you have to have at linebacker, where you're just gonna go. You got to go hit somebody. Like when you're playing quarterback, you kind of sit there and you scan the field, get the ball out quick. You really don't get hit that much. You try not to get hit that much. Where linebacker, you're delivering the hits, and you got to be aggressive all the time.
Well, you seem to adjust pretty easily to that role because you were laying some pretty good hits at the end of the year. But I cut you off earlier. But how is your role different on the basketball team than it is in football? Obviously, that's kind of been your sport, so you're probably a little bit more established as far as your rapport with that team.
Yeah, yeah. Basketball, has always been my main sport pretty much. So I've always been a leader on the basketball court, and I played a lot last year, so I knew coming into this year I'd be one of the leaders on the team along with Zion and then Jake Alvarez. But yeah, I'm more of a leader, kind of direct traffic more on the basketball court and have a more of a leadership role, I guess.
A little more vocal.
Yeah, I'm more vocal, definitely.
Sure.
What have been the challenges playing without guys in the backcourt like an Oliver Holmes and a Rush Riley? Tell me about how you guys have been really looking to improve as a group and looking to enhance that guard play alongside your strength, which is the forward group over there, corralling those rebounds, playing some lockdown defense, scoring the paint. Tell me about how you guys have improved the overall group over these last few weeks, and it's definitely tough to lose a pair of strong guards like Russ Riley and Oliver Holmes.
Yeah, Rush and Ollie were great for us. They're just really good basketball players, really good scorers. But I think this year we've got a lot of smaller guards, and the thing we've just been really focusing on is being able to control the game and being aggressive. We've got a lot of guys that haven't played a ton of basketball. Basketball is not really their main sport, so the hardest thing is just being able to control a game and control the tempo and take over and get us in spots where we want to be in. So I think we've really focused on that the couple past weeks and getting together closer as a team. I think it's been big too, and I think it's going to show when we start playing again.
Well, yeah, because again, so many of your guys were playing football right up until the first week of December, so you just haven't had that kind of preseason bonding, like you said, until this week to have a full week of practice together. But you've got a big game on Friday. You talked about it a little bit earlier, but I know you guys want a piece of Hilton Head because they were the team last year. So how much are you looking forward to this game on Friday? What do you guys have to do to stay on top of the region here?
Yeah, it's a huge game. It's like our first big region game at home on a Friday night. It's going to be a big atmosphere, and we got a really good team coming in, but I think we just got to control the game and control the pace and keep it at what we want to play at. Hilton Head likes to run, likes to go fast and push it, kick it out for threes. So I think if we are able to slow it down a little bit and keep them out of transition, I like our chances. And I think if we use our advantage use our size advantage down low and our length all around the court, I think we'll be good.
Going into your senior year now midway through your senior year, have you given any thought to your plans or your decisions on what you might do into the next level in your college years?
Yeah, I looked a little bit at trying to play basketball in college, but I'm not really sure. Something might come up, but I've applied to schools just for regular college, and that's probably what I'm looking to do. I've applied to Florida, Clemson, South Carolina, and Georgia Tech. So those are the main four.
Yeah,
What are you?
you're obviously very strong academically. What are you thinking about studying?
It's either going to be aerospace engineering or mechanical engineering.
Those are hard things to do while you play basketball full time.
Yeah.
Well, James,
As we go ahead.
when you're not playing basketball, you're not playing football, when you're not in the classroom, tell me what you like to do with friends. What do you like to do in terms of your hobbies in your free time?
Yeah. I like playing basketball. I like shooting the basketball. I'll play some video games every now and then. But I mean, I don't really do too much. Don't have a whole lot of free time after school and sports. But yeah.
That's what we hear all the time. I mean, you guys are working full time pretty much, especially if you're playing multiple sports and going to school and trying to, place high in your class and get scholarships and all those things. You guys are busy, busy, busy lives, really learning to juggle a lot of things. But how much of a positive has that been for you and your development, not just as an athlete and student, but as a person, to be able to learn those time management skills and how to juggle all those responsibilities has to be a real asset for you.
Yeah, it's huge. I think playing sports, I think it really helps. Like when I'm playing sports and when we don't have time off, I think I'm less lazy, and I doing my work and school more than I would be if I didn't have sports and I had more time off, because it's easier to slack off when you don't have practice in the afternoon, or you don't have to worry about any of those things. But yeah, I think sports is huge for staying on task and getting all your work done.
Tell me about the guys who took you under their wing when you were a freshman, you were a sophomore, underclassmen at Beaufort High, and tell me what you learned from those guys when you came up the ranks here as a Beaufort Eagle.
Yeah, I think Daniel Ferris is the first name that sticks out. Last year he was a huge linebacker, and you kind of looked up to him at linebacker. I didn't know that I'd be playing linebacker the next year, but I sat right next to him in the locker room, and he's always a huge presence in the locker room, a really great leader. I think he really taught us how to lead and showed us, what it takes to be a good team player. And yeah, he was great. Rush last year, he was kind of like a more quiet guy, but he always did the right thing, was always playing hard, and yeah, he showed us how to have a real good practice. The guys last year on the basketball team, we really bought into having better practices than we'd had the past few years. I'm trying to
Well, and
think of
you
other
you had
guys.
a new coach too with Jeremy Huff, who's been around there a long time and been around the school and the program. You talk a little bit about his influence and what a job he's done here in his first couple of years after finally getting a shot as the head coach.
Yeah, Huff's great. He's always full of energy. He's always challenging us to go harder, and I think the more we buy in, the more we practice well, I think we're going to keep getting better. But Huff's great. His energy is always unmatched at practice.
Tell me about how you have built that culture over these past few years, really across all sports. So we talked about what you guys have done in football over these last few years, really become a powerhouse in the region, and now really a powerhouse in the lower state, taking it all the way to the state championship game. Basketball has been strong for the last couple of years, and baseball had a great run last season. Just tell me about the culture, that winning culture that you guys have built at Beaufort High over these past few seasons, and you've been a big part of it.
Yeah, I think we've had a great culture. I think people just love coming out to the sporting games, and we've made it real fun to come to games, and I think that helps when you've got a lot of fans there. We play harder, and it's harder for the other team to play in an environment like that. Um, I think these three classes, my class, the class above me, and then the class below me, I think we've always excelled over here at Beaufort. We've won a lot of championships in a lot of sports, and I think we've been ready for these 3 years right here, and we're taking advantage now. We've worked hard, and I think it's coming to fruition.
Yeah, they always say that championship tradition doesn't graduate, right? You just keep building on it year after year and pass it down like Daniel Ferries and those guys did to you. You'll pass it on to the next class and keep this thing going. So, congratulations on all your success so far, James, and thanks so much for taking a little time to sit down with us and chat. And we look forward to seeing you finish out your career on a high note and see what you do next, whether it's in sports or in engineering, man.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It was fun.
All right. Thanks so much to James Dennison, and we'll be right back with more here on the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. All right, Wes. Great to talk with James. What a tremendous young man, and I have to confess, I had not really talked to him that much, other than just saying hi at games and stuff. But very impressed with him, not only on the football field and the basketball court, but just the young man that he is. And we talk a lot about priorities, and when you're thinking about playing at the next level, what are the priorities for you? And he's very honest with himself. The priorities for him are academic. He's got a list of schools that have the programs, the engineering programs he's interested in, and he doesn't really see himself playing basketball at those places, which is a realistic view. So he's thinking academics at the next level, and you certainly have to respect that, especially a young man who knows his own skills and strengths and limitations, and recognizes that his future is not in sports but in engineering. What a tremendous young man, and we'll definitely be rooting for him whatever he does after high school.
Outstanding stuff from James Dennison. What a phenomenal and motivated young man who I think is going to do some big time things in the years to come outside of the sports landscape, which is just awesome to see. Somebody who has really going to pursue the career he wants to do, and he's found a way to start to make it happen. And we look at the work that he has done in terms of on the field, on the court over here at Beaufort High. Just a phenomenal component to so many of those strong Beaufort High teams over the years. When you look at what he has done on the football field, on the basketball court, and even on the baseball diamond as well. But what a year he had for football here, helping lead Beaufort High to that state championship run. And he was starting as a quarterback, and he gave the reins to Tyler Haley, went over to linebacker, and it's difficult to move from one side of the ball to the other, but he embraced that new role, and he put together a heck of a season over there at linebacker. What a phenomenal athlete that he has become, but his strong suit has been on the basketball court, and what a year he has put together once again early on at that firm of Dennison knowed him as you named it so well. They're having a spectacular start. So excited for Friday night. Hilton Head High taking on Beaufort, going to be a great game. But when you look at the culture and what Beaufort High and what that sports program has done to really elevate those teams over the past few years, James and Michael Dennison as well have been a huge part of that, along with so many others. Just really love the culture and the mentality that those teams have really carried over these last few years, and they couldn't have done that without the strong work ethic and talent that James Dennison has given, and what a bright future that he has. Just so proud of what his plans are going forward, looking to pursue engineering. Just an amazing career, and he has certainly got that work ethic and the smarts and the drive to make that happen. And I'm sure he's going to put together a phenomenal professional career for himself in the years to come.
Yeah, no question. And they also have the best student section in the Loco, if not the state. I mean,
Yes.
that Kirkland Crazies group, no matter the sport, they are a factor every single time. Even in baseball, they're a factor. So I love going over there and covering games just to see them get rowdy. They get a little out of hand sometimes, but it's all in good fun. And I just love to see students getting excited for their school and for their teams and cheering them on. It's a great thing, and I think it helps the teams. I really do. It helps them, get excited and get hyped, and gives them energy. So they got a good thing going over there at Beaufort, definitely. And we might hear about a Beaufort team in the teams of the week. Let's see. You get the first crack at it, Wes. Who are you going with for your teams of the week?
For my team of the week, I am going to go with the Hilton Head Christian Academy girls basketball team. And, we haven't seen much of them recently because they took 3 weeks off in the middle of December, but they have come back in a big way recently, and they just rattled off 3 really impressive wins over Georgia opponents. much like Buford High football did running that Georgia Gauntlet. Hilton Head Christian Academy girls, they took down a trio of Georgia squads. They beat Islands, Richmond Hill, and then Calvary Day in just an overtime thriller. What a phenomenal game. Tamaya Hutchinson dropping 30 points on the Cavaliers. What an unbelievable game for the former Estill star, and now over here in the Loco shining for the Lady Eagles, and they're just rolling right now. Kenny Conroy's squad looking good going into region play. The 3-time consecutive state champions in Skeeta 2A. They just pounded Carleton Prep on Tuesday, and they've got a mix of some young studs, also some important veterans as well, who really know how to raise their game. When you look at Skylar Smith, she may be, I think, the most hardworking girl in the entire area. We know how good of a shooter that she is now in her senior year, and what a leader that she is going to be of this team. Abby Paduzzi just keeps getting better and better, and really just has that will to win every night. Tremendous contributor in just so many ways when you look at what Paduzzi brings to this team. And then you got that phenom, young talent in Devin Yard, just incredible quickness and passing abilities over there at guard. Then you have some girls like Mackenzie Buchter, Caroline Yanker, so many others who have continued to improve and learn from those talented players at the top. And, last year we used to say, don't forget Dior, because Dior Shelton, we talk about the impact that she has made to this team. I think that impact is still present when you look at what she has taught these underclassmen now who are the leaders of this team. And, and kind of way, we kind of set aside this Hilton Head Christian County girls team because they've been off for such a long time. And, some of those key standouts have really found a way to take their game to that next level. When you look at Tamaya Hutchinson, what she has done alongside Yard, Skylar Smith, and so many others. We weren't sure how they would stack up against some of those top squads like Calvary Day, who has been the powerhouse the last couple of years in girls basketball over there in Georgia. But they have run the gauntlet, and now they are looking to be a contender once again in Skeeta 2A, and they are hunting for that 4th consecutive state title, which would just be an amazing accomplishment. A big one this Friday night against Buford Academy. I will be there. Cannot wait for that one. It's going to be a ton of fun in both the boys and the girls games. What a start once again for Hilton Head Christian Academy girls basketball.
Yeah, they're terrific. I mean, I got to see them just for a quarter, and it was against Carleton Prep, which is really struggling this year. But you could still see, I mean, they're dynamic. The guards obviously are phenomenal. Jada Grayson is giving them good minutes inside. So is Mackenzie Buchter. They don't need them to score a lot. Just clean up the glass, body people up, and play defense because they've got plenty of people who can put it in the hole. That is not a problem. That backcourt is lethal. Abby Paduzzi is just a beast. You can't control her. They're very good, and they're going to be very good. And you're right. We kind of shrug them off for much of the season because their games are boring. They blow everybody out. The starters are out by halftime. It's not exciting until they get to the playoffs, and that's a testament to them because they play the schedule. And obviously the Calvary game was exciting. There are a few here or there, but against day-to-day competition, it's just not fun to watch. They beat them up bad. So we do we don't ignore them per se, but they don't get a lot of attention until they get to the postseason, in part because we know we're going to be there in Sumter at the end of the year covering them in a state championship game. So they're off to a great start, obviously, very impressive and still the class of the area as far as girls basketball goes. But over on the boys side, that's where I'm going with my team of the week. And this is a team I think that's flying under the radar. I'm going to go with the May River boys. They're 2-0 so far this week. Only had one game over the holiday break, and they came out firing. I mean, they put it on hand the other night, and then they blew away Bluffton in the second half. They have essentially 4 guys who are scoring in double digits because Josh Evander's right there at 9.9. You got Blocker at 15, Garvin Douglas at 10.9, James Lehman at 11.3. And these are all guys who are contributing in other ways too. And, this is a team that's content to play you in the 40s or 50s. So if they get 4 guys in double figures, they're probably going to beat you most nights. I like this team a lot. Chris Cash is another guy who may not show up in the scoring column. Shortest guy on the floor got 10 boards the other night. So they're playing with hustle. They're playing with determination. They're starting to show what we kind of thought they might be the last couple of years because those young guys that are so deep are growing up and they're starting to contribute more. So, I think this is an exciting team, and I look forward to seeing how they hang in this region because I think they're going to be right there in the mix.
Yeah, I'm really excited about May River. What a big win that was over Bluffton, and they've got some talent on this group. When you look at, of course, Gavin Blocker, who's an elite shooter, but he can do so many other things for the Shark group. Garvin Douglas, who's just such an athletic playmaker that we saw on the football field, and has been a clutch guy as well on the basketball court. Chris Cash, brother of Harry Cash, who had a phenomenal career over there at May River, has been showing out as well, and Josh Vander on top of that. So I'm really liking the talent here on this May River group, and they play with hustle, as you said. They may not have, in terms of the height and the frame, as some of those top teams compared to guys like Buford and some other squads, but the talent that you see, the shooting ability of their top players, and just the effort they put in on every night. I'm very, very impressed by what May River do, and I think they'll certainly be a factor here in this region, and excited to see them go up against teams like Buford High and Hilton Head going forward. We should see some fantastic region matchups in the weeks to come as the region and playoff pictures begin to take shape, and it should be a great January and February here as we get into the meat of basketball season.
Yeah, I think it's going to be all about hold and serve at home. May River's got one loss already, 3 points at James Island. I think a lot of people are probably going to lose at James Island, but you got to be able to take care of home against those top teams and try to steal one on the road against the lower tier. So it's going to be very exciting to watch that region play out. I'm looking forward to it, and that goes into our closing segment here, Wes. What are we looking forward to the most in 2022? Obviously, it's basketball season. We can't wait for the basketball playoffs, but what else are you looking forward to in this new year?
Yeah, it's going to be a great year in 2022 here for LowcoSports, and so much to look forward to, obviously, in the meat of winter sports season. And I'm really excited for the wrestling season, as you mentioned earlier. Looking forward to seeing Hilton Head and May River go head-to-head, and then Zaya Estrada, who has yet to see some action this year, and really she has showed out on the mat and at the national level on the girls scene, and I think she has a talent to win a state title on the boys group here in the South Carolina High School League. She is so talented. Cannot wait to see her back out on the mat. Just so much talent over so many of these wrestling squads this winter. Going to be a very, very exciting season for the sport of wrestling, and of course Hilda Christian Academy's girls, who I just mentioned as my team of the week. They're going for that 4th consecutive state title. Kenny Conroy looking to keep that dynasty going. Really like what I see from Milton Preps boys, from Buford Academy's boys. Really excited to see how far these teams will take it in the playoffs. Buford High looking strong to start the season on the boys' side. Bluffton's girls, Sequoia Hayward, Katie Rodney group, are really, really fun to watch. And not too far from the start of spring sports. And actually, we're only a few weeks away from the start of USCB baseball and softball season. And I'll be calling the action here on the Sandshark Game Day Network again this season. And what a year it was for Ted Faulkner's squad a year ago. Made it all the way to the NAIA opening round. I think there's some big expectations here coming into 2022. And the softball team with the new head coach and Cody Yeski. That's a young squad that lost a lot, but does return some solid talent, especially in the infield, and should be a great spring as well for our high school squads. Buford High baseball made that great run. Can they build on that this spring? I'm sure May River is looking for some payback as well. Hilton Head Prep baseball has had some great seasons these past few years, so got some great talent coming back. And then, of course, we got the RBC Heritage in April, and for the first time since 2019, we will have spectators at full capacity, which will be just awesome to see. And just the atmosphere of Stuart Sink started off, the defending champ, driving the ball into the Calabogie Sound. It's going to be awesome. Those opening ceremonies after really that improbable win in 2021, and just should be another great field over there at the Heritage. And then, of course, we got so many former Loco stars to keep an eye on to watch at the college and the pro levels, like Bryson Nimmer at the golf circuit, Bryce Singleton, we mentioned at the top, as he eyes a spot in the NFL, and some guys maybe making some playoff runs. D. Delaney and the Bucks are locked into the NFL playoffs, and we'll see how far Delaney and the Bucks can get this year. But that's going to be exciting to follow. And then Jaylen Sneed in his first season over there at Notre Dame this fall, and then so many more who continue to make our area proud. with all that they do. Just so many things that I'm looking forward to here in 2022, and going to be a great year. So many new additions and enhancements coming. We mentioned Loco Golf. That's going to be firing up. We're going to have Loco FC, a soccer podcast, coming up in the spring. So we're going to continue to find ways to improve and innovate and give you the best local sports coverage here in Beaufort, Jasper, and Colleton counties. Cannot wait for what should be an exciting 2022.
Yeah, man, I think you covered most of the highlights there, but whatever happens in 2022, we'll be here to cover it for you as far as the local sports scene goes. We'll keep you posted on all the news, analysis, insight, and interviews here on the Loco Sports Lowdown, the rest of our podcasts, and over at LowcoSports.com. So thank you so much for joining us for this episode. Thanks to our sponsors. And until next time, go Loco.